Hey YouTube, it's me. Regardless, two things. I would like to cover deep brain stimulation. What is it? How does it work? Why would you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? All that fun stuff. And just a quick funny story. I was going into AC more today because I have gotten into knitting. Yes, knitting. And I was getting some yarn and some more loom kits, and I walked in and the greeter goes, "Is it snowing out there?" I'm like, "No, not yet." She's like, "It's snowing because that's why you're shaking," or she's like, yeah. And he's like, "Is it snowing because is that why you're shaking your head?" And I was like, "No, not yet." But she was so innocent about it, and just sweet. She didn't understand that I was doing anything wrong, I guess. So yeah, you know, shaking the snow off my head, apparently. But you know what? I wish that's all it was. And then I walked away, I told my mom, I'm like, "Mom, I wish that's all it was some snow on my head." But anyway, now let's cover this important topic for me. Having severe Tourette syndrome is obviously very life-impacting. I have more than just the usual tics. I go complex, you know, everything, echolalia, coprolalia, egopraxia, copopraxia, all the huge-ass words that we don't need to know anything about. Regardless, I know it's very life-impacting, and I know that Tourette syndrome sucks. And knowing that, being that I am a candidate for deep brain stimulation, it gives me a sense of hope. Now, deep brain stimulation, as I mentioned in my previous video, is, jeepers. That was cool. It's a surgery performed on people with Parkinson's disease and dystonia. Now, it has been performed on people with Tourette syndrome successfully, and I think it actually all started in Australia. You know, those Aussies are pretty, smart. I do like some Aussie. I like Aussies. Regardless of that, it is basically it's what it's called. It's deep brain stimulation. Now, this involves, if you have no idea what it is, this is going to sound weird, so bear with me. You drill 2 holes in your skull after doing, obviously, an advanced MRI and getting all your calculations right. I suppose it has to do with going in the basal ganglia, which is and dopamine receptors, I don't know. But regardless, 2 metal rods will go into your brain. Now, so far you're thinking, who the hell's gonna do this? You're full of shit. No. These metal rods are thin. They're not just like thick things going into your brain like a bullet or something. They're just very thin metal rods. And these metal rods are attached to wires. Now, these wires, it's basically like setting up a car audio system, except in your brain. That's how I look at it, because I've been wiring a lot of car audio systems lately. Basically, you're wiring the probes or the poles, rods, whatever you want to call them, down the neck into either the chest cavity or the stomach. Now, for me, if I do get this at all, I'm not sure where we're going to put it, either stomach or chest, it depends, because I do have chest tics, but I also have a lot of stomach tics. I mean chest hitting tics, like, not chest, you know. Regardless, it goes into a pacemaker. These wires run down into a pacemaker, and basically you can adjust the voltage until your tics have really diminished, and in some cases completely disappeared. Now, to even think of the thought, tics completely disappear, is something that I haven't thought of for years. Now, I know that I have seemed pretty relatively still 2 years ago in past videos. Obviously, relatively still. It is far much more still than this, and pretty awkward of that. But I've had tics for a long time, and it's weird to think I don't have an urge. I don't have to do my itch. I don't have to shake. That would just be so weird. I don't even know how I would explain it. I don't even know how to think about it, to be honest. But granted, this has been so successful among so many people. Worst comes to worst, there's a 2% chance you could get an infection. They remove the probes, you clear the infection, and you do it again if you wish. I think probes is a kind of funny word, so I think I'll stick to rods if I can get that clear. Probes. Pubes. Okay, regardless of that, as I said earlier, if I say regardless of that again, I might go nuts. But it won't, because I don't even say it that much. And I don't have ADHD either, if you can tell. Alright, well, that's deep brain stimulation. That's what it's about. That's how my route's going. If you have any questions, just message me or comment. I would be happy to answer anything. Remember, be happy, be positive, because life could be worse. My life could be worse. Look, I got a nice room and this freaking dog here that takes up my bed. I love you, Booby. Alright, goodbye.